Well, back at it on the 88 Thunderbird. The plan is to put this bad boy back in to its original spot right here. The main reason why I want to do that is because this is going into its temporary location, which is a garage at a friend's place. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting out of the rain and the wind, trying to work on this thing and try and get at least the body done. But I got to do the heavy work of trying to put it back together, and that's going to be a bit of a puzzle because I got to find the parts and where I threw them, and then I got to make sure that the rear diff isn't going to pop out when I try to move it. So really, it's just to try and get it to be a roller so that way I can push it onto a trailer. So it was over there, it's back over here. So just got to get a couple of jack stands, prop it up on there, then try to get it at least attached to these two to start with, and then I got to figure something out for the rest of it. Oh, there's one side. Got that one in. Good. Let me see if I can bolt up the center part. Alright, so this here is what I'm trying to connect to here. I already popped a jack under there, just try and balance it. I might have to wiggle the drive shaft a little bit more forward, and I gotta take just these bolts out. They should be finger tight and easy to pop out. But I forgot that they sat in the rain for so long and they don't come out like that anymore. Gotta get my tools. Okay, got the bolt out. Actually wasn't in that hard. It was just stuck a little bit, and then once I popped it, it came out pretty easy. All I have to do is just wiggle the differential to try and line it up to this. Kind of did it a little bit already, so it's almost there, but I'll bring you back once it's all connected just because the camera gets in the way. All right, it's back on. It's literally just being supported by the jack that's there. There's no other stands or anything. For that, the nut that's on that bolt right there, I did put a little bit of anti-seize just to make sure nothing was gonna, jam up or bind later on. I also tightened it just enough so that way some threads were showing on the end of the bolt. I didn't go crazy to torque it down to a specific spec. I mean, this isn't going on the street, so I'm not gonna stress about it. While I was at it, I took the caliper off. This is just on this side. You can see how, well, it's pretty much needs to be rebuilt or changed. I'm just going to change it probably. And I also went and coiled up the ABS wire. I kind of just tucked it out of the way to make sure it wasn't going to bind up with the wheel or anything like that. So we have this all set up and done now. I'm going to try and find the strut that goes up there, and then figure out another at least attachment point just to make sure that it doesn't kind of swing or sway too much. I might use some straps and or a piece of like steel or something just to hold it in place, but I'll figure that out. Let me find this stuff and then I'll bring it back. All right, I found the strut. Pop that in. I still have to put the nut that's on the top here, but the bottom is in. I secured it, put a little bit of Loctite, but I didn't go crazy on trying to put it tight again. I'm not trying to go and make it street ready. It's just got to move into a garage. Now I installed this bracket too. It installs on another strut that is used for extra stabilization and smoothing out, and that's a point that I'm going to use and attach it to here. And what I'm just going to use is just a straight piece of steel and use that to stabilize it, kind of a reverse forelink, I guess, if you will, because, well, the one that was here is gone. Let me install that on the other side and get the bolt, or the nut, I should say, on the top, and then let's move on to getting that piece of steel that goes there. All right, all that is done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually pop the tire on, or the wheel, and I also want to set kind of how this is going to be forward or back, so that way when I put that bar in, I don't have the differential or the end of the differential that connects to the transmission tipping way down. And now it's snowing or hailing or something. I don't know if you can see it. There you go, maybe a little bit there. Anyway, fun times. All right, let me get to trying to adjust that and figure out the length. All right, got the wheel installed, kind of going to keep it at about this ride height here, which is why I wanted the wheel on there to kind of just give me an idea as to where it would be centered. And, I know it's not going to rub or anything like that. Let me pop the wheel off and show you the other parts. So I put the jack underneath the front of the pumpkin or the differential connection to the transmission, and I kind of just tilted it at least back enough that it wasn't gonna lean forward and hit something and leak or whatever like that, which also gave me the position for this guy, which I'm going to use to measure off of that point and create my bar. So roughly center to center, we're looking at 14 inches. At least that's the number that I'm going to go with, because it's got a good round number. And putting that piece of steel in there should prevent it from rocking back and forth and twisting, and should also prevent it from moving forward and back. And voila, there we are. That's the bar that I created. Again, just drilled some holes, nothing fancy. There's just some scrap metal that I had lying around. So the holes are 14 on center, and I added an inch on either side just to make sure that, you know, I would have some room and some strength. Not that it needs a lot, but you know what I'm saying. And with that there, it's holding the differential in place. I think I still need a little bit of something to go from there to here, at least on the bottom, just so it doesn't swing too much. Maybe it'll be fine. I don't know. I don't know. So let me go ahead and pop that jack off. That didn't sound too good. And then let me go ahead and clear all the stuff that's under here. You can see there's quite a bit of stuff. I also want to check to make sure that I don't have any other wires and stuff like that. Like, I got to clean this up here because that's part of the fuel tank. And then the old straps for the gas tank, got to pop those off. All right, so this is all the stuff that was under there. If you saw some of my other videos, you know pretty much what's there, but gas tank, muffler, sway bar. And yeah, I pulled out the drive shaft just to make sure that wasn't gonna dangle anywhere. And underneath here, it looks like it's pretty much good. I don't have any kind of low-lying stuff. The only thing that I forgot to adjust or do was that part right there, because that kind of control arm that's there, which is gone on this side over here, I can't bolt it back up because the bolt's still stuck in there. I used a ratchet strap and just kind of made sure it was secure and wasn't going to move anywhere. Now I'm going to put some air in the tires and then drop the front end and then come back to the back and drop that. All right, got all 4 tires with some air, about 30 psi each. I know 2 of them are probably going to leak, but anyway. Got the front jacked up. The jacks should be loose. Yep, there's one. And the other one. Sorta, maybe. Alright, let's try and jack that up a little bit more. Yes, there we go. That to the side. Alright, well, it's been a while since these tires have been on the ground. Several months, that's for sure. Let's bring them back down. Nice and easy. And there we go. Both front tires are back on the ground. Well, this is why I wasn't filming removing or lowering the back. This edge here was way over here, like past this plywood or OSB right there. These were extremely difficult to take out, at least and for me. And I got that jack stand leaning and jammed in there. I still got to get under there and pull that out and bring it back to the ground. So let me do that. Wow, that was very, very sketchy. But all 4 wheels are on the ground. Whew. I'll just do a little cleanup and see if she rolls all right. Oh, she's definitely squatting in the back. Let me see if I can push it or anything. I'd like to get all the wood and stuff out from under there, kind of do a little rust autopsy. But let's just see what we have. Wow, okay, almost thought I wasn't gonna make it. So this rust here is mostly from the torque box, except for the straps, that's from the gas tank. But this was the back end. You can see like all this gray, not gray, but kind of orangey rust color. That's all stuff that fell out of the car while I was working on it. This is where the engine was. Side note, guys, don't use OSB as some kind of floor. It is not that good when it gets wet. which is what happened here. I had one of the jack stands right here. One of the legs was pretty much in this little spot right here, and it buckled, and that's when everything shifted. Right after I started taking out those big blocks right there. Anyway, no harm, no foul. Everything is good. Let me clean this mess up and then push the car back. Well, forget that. It's stuck in a rut and the ground is so wet that I can't even get any grip. So I'm just gonna leave it there for now. Pretty much ready for towing when I get the trailer. Another reason why I wanted to kind of get all this stuff from underneath the Thunderbird was because I'm gonna start working on this guy at some point soon. And I needed some of these things to just try and bring the cab up and, you know, give me some space where I can kind of sort of crawl under there and get some of the stuff out. Because I'm gonna be pulling the engine and want to separate the transmission from it. Well, that took a lot of energy to push that thing around. I am actually kind of pooped. But either way, it's ending on a good note. I got it on the ground and got the kind of suspension back in place so I can get that diff to hang on there. So for now, I'm pretty happy. Just got to get that trailer and move it to my friend's garage and then start fully disassembling. I mean, take everything out of here, get it down to just the frame. That's it. So on that note, thanks for watching and take it easy. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Here's a sneak peek. That's the frame rotisserie.